Welcome, everybody, and welcome to YMA Mat Chat, where we are discussing tonight major decisions and life changes as part of our 70,
I think it's 77, but I don't know. I think I lost count.
77 or 78
One
of
of the two.
our podcasts. And as you can see, we've been doing this almost every single week for that long, coming up on a year and a half.
Yep.
And the idea has been what are the benefits of martial arts? How can we take the benefits of martial arts out of the studio, off the mats, so to speak, and look at the benefits on the mat, the benefit off the mat, the benefit at home, the benefit at work, and play with that. So as a business coach, I'm bringing my perspective, and Mr. Yarwood, as the owner of Yarwood's Martial Arts, is bringing his perspective. And feel free to, if you are watching us, because we are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. And feel free to drop a comment and ask a question in the comments. We'd love to answer it. And with that, how are we going to make smart moves when it actually matters with major decisions and life changes? Over to you, Mr. Yarwood.
So I've actually been dealing with this quite a bit in several areas, and it's something that I guess you don't really think. A lot of people don't like change. They get used to a certain way of doing things. They get stuck in, I guess, a rut, and something comes up, maybe an opportunity comes up, or some kind of thing happens in their life, and they have to make a big decision, and they're not prepared for it, or they don't want to, because change sucks, right? And we all have, I think, come across points like that in our life where we've had to make decisions that could literally alter the direction of our life or our business or whatever it is, right? So I was just thinking about the different ways, different things and tools you can use to help make those decisions easier to make, those changes easier to handle and deal with. And like one of the decisions I've been having to make recently is I'm doing a lot of stuff in my business. We're trying to grow, and we have things that we're doing that we've done before, but we're kind of updating, right? And then there's like I have a program that I help that does a lot of my membership stuff, and I'm working on getting that upgraded and actually getting a whole new system. And it took me a while to really come to the conclusion that I needed to make the change, right? I've been hesitant about it just because there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of switch over. There's a lot of moving parts that have to be all made sure that they're all lubricated and go in the same direction and all working together. And, it at first I just didn't want to do the change because it sucks, right? There's a lot of stuff, and is it going to work? And you don't really know whether things are going to work or not when you're making these changes, right? So the default is just leave it the way it is, right? But then the problem becomes, if it's not working the way you want it to work as the default, well, then you have to make a change. So you have to sit down and figure out, okay, what are the benefits? What are the costs that's going to come with it? What are the things that are going to be better? Is it long term? Is it a short term? Is it a pivot? I mean, there's so many different things, and you have to think about all this stuff that it's going to affect, right? And then take in all that information and then go, okay, is this worth the change? Is this worth all the effort and the disruption short term for long term benefit? And so I just thought about some ways we can come up with ideas about dealing with making those decisions.
And I think this is a great, there's 10 things on here. And I think to be able to run through these 10, I think will really give people a great perspective. It's not the do all, be all, end all. It's a great place to start, though.
Yep.
So first off, as with any goal, as with, and Zig Ziglar talks about taking dreams and looking at dreams and charting them out, and then looking to see what dream you can set as a goal, and choosing them. And to me, that's the first place to start. It's
Yep.
to jump into the future, 5 years, 10 years, and stand in this place, in this position, and go, okay, this is what I want around me. And then look backwards and say, what do I got to do to get here?
Gesundheit.
Thank you. And really get clear on where you're standing. Hey, I want a 3,000 square foot home with a 2-car garage attached, a master suite. I want vaulted ceilings. I want a beautiful big bathroom. I mean, whatever it is, creating something specific as your outcome. And I think that implies anything, right? Like that's a structure, that's a thing, that's a materialistic thing in your future. It could be your black belt. Hey, I want to have my 2nd degree black belt, not my first, because we've heard so much from Ms. Yarwood that the 1st degree is just really getting all the basics down to getting into it. So at least the 2nd degree, and having that be a goal, setting it out there, going, okay, standard is 3 years to get to a black belt if you're
to get the 1st degree.
Yep.
4
years. So there's my 4-year goal, right? And then add 2 years to get to your 2nd. So now we've got a 6-year goal, right? That's my outcome. Now look and see, what do I got to do to have that happen? Who do I have to be? What actions do I have to take? What do I need to move? Right? And get clear on the outcome. So, I love what you did as the first one, as you came up there.
Yeah, and the part of the issue with that is, like you said, the word clear, right?
Yep.
Know exactly what it is. Because if you just say, any goal, I want to be a 2nd degree black belt. Yeah, okay, great. And what does that mean? What does it take, right? If you're not clear on it, if you're just kind of vague, it doesn't have any substance to it. It doesn't have any power, because you don't even know what that means. Like, I could have a kid say, I want to be a 2nd degree black belt. Okay, how are you going to do that? I don't know. Well, okay, let's figure it out. What do you got to do, right? And work your way through it. So now, this is the date that I want to be a 2nd degree black belt. Here's all the things I need to do prior to that to get to that rank, right? Now you have a path. You can see the path. Okay, that's where I got to go. That's how I got to get there. Is it a guarantee that you're going to be on that path the entire time? Heck no, but at least you got it, right? There's going to be road construction along the way. There's going to be forks in the road that might come up. Who knows? But as long as you know where you're going, you'll get there.
Yeah, I think it's as with everything, the clarification of where you want to be is imperative. Because if you don't know where you want to be, then how the heck are you going to know what you need to do to get there?
Yep. It's like getting in your car and you're going to go to Cheyenne, Wyoming, right? Well, how do you get there? I don't know. Do you have a map? Nope. Do you know what direction it is? Nope. All right. Good luck.
And number 2 is defining the cost of staying the same, right? So if you've created this future and now you suddenly back up and you go, I don't know if I want to do that. That's a lot. So then you step back and go, okay, if I stay the same, what's that going to cost me?
Mm-hmm. And do you really stay the same?
Well, we never stay the same, and you're either expanding or contracting, and we've talked
Yep.
about this, right?
Yep.
And for me, even as a coach, I mean, I have 3 events coming up this year, right, that are super important to me to really expand into the future of what's possible as me as a coach. And if I've promised myself I will always, always, always take classes every year of some kind to build who I am as a coach. And I can't imagine not.
Yep. Yeah, I have my 6th degree coming up in July and then mastership next year. I have a clear path on how that's going to happen and what I need to do and how I need to get there. I know exactly where I'm, not necessarily specific dates, but I know where I'm going to be along that timeline. And it's something that's like, it's a huge event in my life, right? It's a big change in a lot of things for me. And it's like, okay, if I don't know how to get there, I don't have that pathway, I'm just going to be randomly moving along and hoping I find it.
Well, and the other thing, and this, I didn't see this in our top 10, but I think as leaders we set an example,
Mm-hmm.
and if we're not clear about the example that we're setting,
Yep.
You're basically creating a poop mess.
Mm-hmm.
And the chances of a successful business, the successful anything, get greatly minimized.
Yep. It's funny you say that. That was the chapter I was on. Remember last week we did one of the laws of leadership
From the 17
so the chapter I'm on right now is the chapter called the law of buy-in, right? Where the people that you're leading are bought into what you're doing because of how you're doing what you do, right? Telling them what you're going to do and showing them what you're going to do, 2 different things. And it's funny that you talk about that because I literally was just reading that chapter.
Well, it's a very important part that people forget.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like, oh yeah, I need to set this up. I need all my clients. I needed these people to do these things, right? And it's like, well, wait a minute. What are you doing?
Yeah.
How are you being an example of leadership for the people in your group?
Yep.
Yeah. What's number 3, Mr. Yarwood?
Gather enough data, not endless data. There's people like they research until they find exactly what they think they want. And they go, well, maybe that's not quite it. And I got to find more and I got to find more. It's procrastination. They don't want to do it. So they keep researching it. I'm looking into it. I'm finding out more about it. Right.
And procrastination is the biggest game in the marketplace.
Yep.
And I actually think that some companies thrive off of procrastination because they know
sure.
that they're gonna make money off of it.
Yep. Yep. I think it was Patton who said, if a good plan executed is better than a perfect plan never executed. You'll never have the perfect plan because no matter what, if you wait that long, first of all, it's going to change anyway. And 2, once you execute it, it's going to change anyway. So you'll never have the perfect plan. So just start and go from there. You can't get there if you don't start. Because you're not gonna know everything. If that's your goal, then you're stuck.
Number 4, check your bias. Are you choosing from fear, ego, or growth? I look at this as the perfect conversation here, because I look and think, okay, if we're coming from any of those places, is that fear a good choice? When you choose with fear or something in the way, you it then comes with, and in order to, it then comes with what I would call baggage that you have to deal with at some point.
Yeah, I think that becomes an emotional thing.
Yep.
That we know making decisions with emotion are usually never very good decisions.
Number 5, stress test the decision. And so first I'm gonna it says, what's the worst case scenario and can you handle it? For me, decision is one of the words that I steer away from as much as I can. And I really promote the word choice versus decision. Choice creates a tremendous amount of possibility, whereas decision cuts off. Decide is a word that just in and of itself comes from a makeup of words: genocide, suicide, pesticide, homicide, decide, that is, to me, kills off possibility. It stops things because, well, I had to make this decision, and there's tons of reasons you did it that get in the way of it being clean and clear. So one of the things that I look as in when you stress test the decision, quote unquote, what are we looking at in a choice? Is it free? Is it free of anything? Is it free of any of the stuff that you just talked about: fear, ego, and growth? Is it free from pressure from somebody else? So I'm not sure what your take on that stress test the decision is, but
I just look at it from the standpoint, it's like you set your vision, right? 5 years down the road. Okay, I'm going to do this in 5 years, and you know exactly, write it all down, right? Well, what's the worst thing that can happen making that decision, making that choice down the road? What's the worst thing that's going to happen, right? And just come up with all these things that get in your way, that can be that could derail you, that could become barriers or obstacles, right? And start thinking about that. So you prepare yourself for things that could come in your way. So when something does happen, you not necessarily know exactly what's going to happen, but you have the expectation that things can happen, and you're of the understanding that you're going to be able to deal with them. So if you think them out down the road, you're going to have iteration along the way. You also need to have backup plan, right? If this doesn't work, if this happens, here's what I'm going to do. So if you already know going forward that you prepare for the worst and hope for the best and deal with whatever comes to you, versus just like, if you only have that right there, that's it. And if anything else gets in my way, I stop, right? I'm not able to go around, above, below, whatever. So if I don't know that something bad can happen, I'm not going to plan for it, and then it's going to derail me.
And number 6, make the call, then commit. Indecision drains energy. Choose and move. Right? I look at that. None of us are perfect. The opportunity for us to choose incorrectly or to choose and discover that it's,
Mm-hmm.
welcome to life.
Yep.
So I really think that just taking it on and moving forward is a great way to go.
That's the action. That's the action part of it.
Amen.
Just go do it. But what if I fail? Well, what if you don't?
Yeah.
What if it sucks? What if it doesn't?
Fail forward.
Yep.
That's the nature of the beast in the game, I think.
Yep. I like 7. 7 is like, this is where you find that there's going to be issues along the way. This is how we do the adjustments, right? This is the iteration stuff. You make a decision. You start going, and then, okay, this isn't working. Or I'm going to go this way. Okay, now this isn't working. Now I'll go this way. Like you're dodging things as they're coming at you, but you keep going forward, keep getting closer towards where you're trying to go, and not stopping, just adjusting, making iterations and growth. Little ones lead to big ones, and that's just kind of where you're headed. So just do it, figure it out, do it again, figure it out, do it again, figure it out, do it again.
And as you say that, what I see, number 8, accept the trade-offs. Every choice costs something. Own it. Well, once again, this is perfect because we're in a space now where it's every choice that you make is going to leave some stuff behind.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have it all.
Yep.
What you can have is the powerful choices that leave you in a space of, I can see how this made a great difference and I'm glad I chose it.
Right. And it's going to lead to your success. If you're trying to bring everything with you, it just weighs you down, and it's harder to get where you want to go because now you're carrying extra baggage that you don't really need. You gotta cut the crap and stick with the good stuff.
Going into the next one, I really like this. Build decision-making muscle. Building the muscle for choosing, as I would say it. The more reps you take, the sharper you get. And I think this is with anything. As you become somebody that continues to choose, continues to make choices over and over and over and over, you become not numb, but you become seasoned. You become strong in the fact that you're able to see something coming and you can handle it because you've handled something like it before.
Yep.
So you've developed a mechanism to work through that.
Yep. That's action 2. Just doing it over and over and over and over again. We talk about it as automatic reflex. You've done something so many times you don't even have to think about it anymore.
Yeah. And lastly, separating emotion from action. Feel it, but don't let it drive the wheel. I mean, to me, this is common sense.
Yep.
Right? Don't get so cocky that because you're in a beautiful car that and it's new and it drives straight, that you can let go of the wheel and expect it to move in that direction indeterminately.
Yep. Yeah, as we talked, like that emotion, rarely do you make good decisions emotionally, good or bad. You just have to step out of the emotion part and use the logic part and say, okay, that feels good, but is it good? Right? It feels bad, but is it bad? It makes me feel this way or that way. Right, but is it the right decision? Is it what you're supposed to do? Or is it something that just has an effect on you that makes you feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that? Because like I said, sometimes things are going to suck.
And remember, everything, when you are emotional about something, where's the emotion coming? It's all made up, and it's all made up based on judgments from the past. You know, and you know, depression is past based. Anxiety is future based. And I laugh at people that get anxious about the future, because I'm like, look, what is it being anxious about the future going to do for you other than make you, put you in the funny farm? And, some people I really poke hard and I say, and who made you God that you're going to like be able to do anything about the future?
Yep.
It's like, get over it. Do what you say you're going to do by when you said you would do it, and move consistently with those goals and take action based on those goals. And going right back to the beginning, based on the outcome that you've seen and what you want to create, that's what you do.
Right. And if you can do something about it, don't worry about it. Do something. If you can't do something about it, don't worry about it, because you can't do anything about it.
Yep.
Either way, stop worrying about it.
Exactly.
Go or don't go.
I like it. I like it a lot. Bottom line, clarity leads to decision, choice leads to action, to adjustment. That's how you win, over and over, one step at a time. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep. Something known as the OODA loop in like military terms, right? It's observe, orient, decide, act. Observe, orient, decide, act. OODA loop. So like the first one, clarity, you're observing, you're making a decision, you're acting, then you adjust, and then you go back and do it again. Every time you adjust, okay, figure out where you are. Adjust, figure out where you are.
And this, by the way, that is a good thing to practice no matter what it is you're up to or what it is you're doing. Well, thanks, Mr. Yarwood. Thanks once again for a great session. And maybe we'll figure out by next week what number we... Because you definitely used to correct me.
I know. I have it written. I thought so. Last week I have it written as 76. You see it. I have 75.
I thought last
74, 73. So I think this was 77.
All right.
According to my records.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you again. I appreciate this. And we'll look forward to the next time.
Yes, sir. 78.
78. Here we go.